love and that we miss. I have a couple of announcements for you just to get things started. What have you guys been doing and how have you been spending your time? Something that I've been doing to keep me sane is, well, yoga. Moving the body has helped keep my mind calm through some of this craziness. I've also been gratitude journaling, so I've got myself a little gratitude journal. And twice a day I write in it. I start off my mornings with talking about what I'm grateful for that day. And I also do it before I go to sleep at night, just so that I can be in a good state of mind when I'm resting. I'll give you some prompts at the end of class. I know right now we want to get moving, so I won't spend too much time on that, but we can talk about it later. And then what I have here with me is, obviously I have a mat. If you don't have a mat, it's okay. You can use a blanket. You can also practice on the floor. The mat's not necessary. If your knees are sensitive, make sure you grab like a blanket or something that you can put under your knees when we're on our hands and knees. The blanket's also good to help prop up your hips and keep your pelvis tilted forward. So blanket's always useful. If you have a strap, you can grab one. Again, not necessary. I've got blocks here, but you can also use a book or something if you want to just grab onto that if you don't have blocks at home, okay? We always have options. Just want to make sure that you know that this is accessible and we don't need all this fancy gear to practice, to go through our practice today. The other things I wanted to talk about, yes, so our last class was March 1st. So, oh my goodness, do I miss you guys, and I miss my community so much. You know, we get caught up in this day-to-day in the way that we think things are supposed to go, right? We're used to our lifestyle, going out to eat, and maybe even taking for granted some of these privileges that we had, right? Going to your yoga studio, or, you know, now going to the beach, going to the park. And now that we don't have some of those things, we're sort of being asked to take this time to reflect on ourselves, on our actions, and on our behaviors, on our relationships, on our habits, right? So maybe just think of this time as a time to tune into yourself, first and foremost, because how often do we even really get to do that? We're always going on to the next thing. So please, I know it's hard to be isolated and to stay at home, but if you can think of it as a time to maybe, you know, better yourself, because that's what I've been trying to do. And then thank you to anyone who's donated and supported us. All of our proceeds and donations are going towards Beach Yoga SoCal. You know, like I said, the last time we practiced was March 1st, so, you know, the business is closed indefinitely right now, and anything that comes in just helps us pay for permits and all the business expenses that go towards bringing you guys Beach Yoga SoCal. So thank you so much for that. And my last little tidbit is I've got my little Ganesha here. So he's the remover of all obstacles, and that's kind of what he symbolizes, of prosperity, wealth, new future. So I'm going to have him next to us, and he's going to be spreading his wisdom and joy and power with us throughout our practice today. It's just something I usually keep with me when I'm flowing. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm hoping everyone's settled in right now. I'm actually seated up on top of a bolster. You can sit down on your block or a blanket, and we're going to begin with some alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. So this is great for our respiratory system, for our lungs, for our breathing, and it balances both sides of our nasal passages and both hemispheres of the brain. So to begin, just come into a comfortable seat. You're going to take your first 3 fingers, okay? You're going to place your thumb right on your right nostril, okay? And then you can place your pointer finger on your third eye. If you don't want to touch your head, you don't have to. You can just kind of let it hang out there. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch between the nostrils that we're breathing in from. So, real simple, I promise. Start by closing off your right nostril, okay? Place your finger on your third eye. You can place your left hand right on your knee over here, palms facing up, maybe even close your eyes. I'm sorry if it sounded a little nasally. Close your eyes, take a deep inhale through the left nostril. Hold the breath. And then you're going to close the right nostril and breathe out the left. inhale through the left. Plug the nostril, hold the breath. Exhale through the right. Inhale through your right nostril. Exhale through your left nostril. Inhale through the left. Exhale through your right. Take 3 more rounds of that on each side. Last round. Exhaling out through your left. We're going to bring our hands to our heart space, palms together. We're going to start this practice off with 1 Om. First, just take a deep breath. And we'll Om together now. Now that we're centered and grounded and here in the present moment, we're going to take this bolster off from underneath us, or you can keep the blanket underneath you if it's more comfortable for you. And then go ahead and bring the bottom of your feet together, okay? So bottom of the feet are going to come together, Baddha Konasana. And then place your hands around the ankles, sit up nice and tall. Again, the blanket can help boost you up here. And then start to just make a few circles around yourself, okay? Nice and wide. Okay, keep it easy. Circling through the hips, through the pelvis. Hi guys, it's good to see all of you. I've got my TV on the other side, so just turning in so I can see who's joining. Sit up tall, take a deep inhale. Exhale it out. And then switch over opposite direction. Sufi circles the opposite way. You're enjoying this time of heaviness and being still. Can kind of get a lot of tightness going on in our hips. So we're going to just tend to some of that today. 1 more big wide Sufi circle. And sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, and then walk your hands forward, wherever they feel comfortable. And just gently relax your head and your neck down. Take a few more deep breaths here. And then just walk your hands back towards your feet, okay? And then extend out through the left leg, okay? I'm going to be mirroring you. So extend out through the left leg. Keep your left foot nice and active. And then just bring your right leg in nice and close to you, okay? Reach up nice and tall. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Then we're going to twist from our torso and come down into a gentle fold. Allow the hands to just fall naturally wherever they fall. Bend your knee a little bit if you're feeling extra tight in the hamstrings. And then just take a few deep breaths right here, guiding the head down towards the knee down towards the head. Deep inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead, rise on back up. Nice and tall. Again, keeping your shoulders away from the ears, rising up out of the rib cage. We're going to take this fold one more time. Come on down. Keep active through that right leg, through the left leg. Good. Come on back up. Great. And then just bring that left foot to the outside of your left foot to the outside of your left hip. Okay, we're going to move into a twist. So come up nice and tall again, reaching up with our hands. And then you're going to twist over towards your left. So just simple twist here. And then maybe you can place the hands down onto your leg, onto your knee. And then come back to the center space and cross your legs. Okay? And then you can grab the blocks or the books that you have, place them right down next to you. And then just go ahead and lift your butt off the floor, okay? This is where it's comfortable for you. And then slowly lower it back down. Once again, lift your butt off the floor, getting into that core, and lower it back down. Good. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, your Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, lower it down. One more time. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Great. And then we're going to just take it on to the other side, okay? Keep it nice and balanced. So extend out through the right leg this time. Bring your left leg in nice and close, and then we're going to fold and twist onto this side. And then, oops, sound like a dog bowl. This side could be a little bit different than the other side, so you always want to be mindful of that and just noticing, paying attention to those nuances. And then rise on back up. We're going to take it one more time. Nice and yummy. Twisting from the torso. Go ahead and come down to fold. Good. Rise on up. And then bring that right foot to your right booty over here. And then come into a twist onto the right side. Breathing into the hips, into the inner thighs. And then forward to come into a cross-legged position, right? And then a few lifts of your booty. Grab your blocks, or you can use the floor too, if that's comfortable for you. And just lift and lower. Lift. Exhale to lower. Grab my blocks again. Last one. Let's hold it for a moment. Maybe you'll lift your legs up. And slowly lower it down. Awesome, guys. And let's come onto all fours, onto our hands and knees, okay? This is a good time to grab hold of the blanket and place it underneath your knees. I'm going to do that for sure. And then you can still use your blocks, okay? You can always use the blocks underneath your hands. Sometimes I just like to use it because it gives me so much more space to move. Make sure your hands are underneath the shoulders, okay? The knees are underneath your hip bones. We're going to start with a few cat-cows, okay? So take a deep inhale, lift your tailbone, shine your heart through. And exhale to come into your cat. Broaden your shoulders, tuck your chin in towards your chest. And then inhale for cow, lift through the tailbone, shine your heart through, look up at the ceiling. Exhale to round. And then start to move a little bit faster with these spinal flexion and extension. Right? You could take this at your own pace, so keep going, taking a few rounds of cat-cow and getting warm. So I'm going to just lose this layer. So keep going. Creating a bunch of space in between the vertebra of our spine. Last round. Great. And then come back to a neutral table, okay? Again, hands underneath the shoulders. And then go ahead and send your hips over to the right side and look over your right shoulder. Come back to the center, send your hips over to the left, and look over your left shoulder. And come back to the center, right? So it's like, like a dog wagging its tail a little bit. And we're just getting into the sides, the obliques, lengthening and strengthening. Good. And then we're going to just sort of play with that spinal fluidity, okay? So, when you inhale, you come into that cow pose, and then send your hips over to the right, look over your right shoulder. Tuck your chin, come into cat pose, push away from your ground, broaden through the shoulders. And then send the hips over to the left and look over your left shoulder. And then into cat pose. Over towards the right. Rounding into cat. And then over towards the left. One more round like that. Lift up into cow. Send it over towards the right. Round it into your cat pose. Broad it through the shoulders. And then send it over towards the left. And then keeping those toes tucked, you can remove the blocks if you have them. Let's take a child's pose. So send your hips all the way back and down. Relax your forehead down onto your mat. Maybe you even rock your forehead a little side to side. Just to feel that connection to the third eye. And then round your spine forward, come on back into your tabletop position. Okay. And then from here, loves, we're just going to lift it up into plank. Okay, so just send your feet straight back. And then again, same thing with plank. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Make sure you're spreading your fingertips nice and wide. And reach out through your heels, excited. Give yourself plenty of space in your plank pose. Plank modification, you come down onto your knees and you can lift up the legs, okay? But if you can, try to challenge yourself and work to build up that heat here in our plank pose. And then we're going to just do a little rocking back and forth. Little rocking back and forth, okay? Inhale and exhale, back and forth. And then go ahead, bend your knees, and come all the way back like you're doing a little air squat, right? Air squat here. And then come back forward into plank. And then come back down into that air squat. You're getting ready to pounce forward and come forward into plank, right? So each time here, you're just bending your knees as generously as you can, bringing your booty down closer to your heels, and then popping forward into that plank. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, come on back. And exhale to pop forward. Good. Then lower the knees down, okay? Now lower just your chest down, so keep the elbows tucked. And then lower your chin down. Oops. Slide on forward to baby cobra. Push into the tops of the feet. Find a lifting of your chest. Expand through the collarbone. Push into your pelvis. Tuck your toes. Send it all the way back to a child's pose. And then with some energy, pop it forward into plank. Come down into your squat. Forward into plank. Lower down your knees, chest, chin. And forward into baby cobra. Keep your toes tucked. Send it back to child's pose. Try that one more time. Forward into plank. Going into your squat. Forward into plank. This time lower through one solid straight line. Push into the tops of your feet. Keep them nice and grounded. And lift up into that baby cobra. Slowly lower it down. Send it back to child's pose. Come onto all fours into your tabletop. And let's find our first downward facing dog. I love to use blocks for my first downward facing dog. So you can go ahead and set those up. Spread the fingertips wide. Keep your knees slightly bent here and just send your hips up towards the sky. And again, make sure the fingertips are nice and spread out. You want your pointer finger to be facing forward. Okay? Keep the core tight. Relax your head and your neck. Turn your triceps in. Turn your biceps out. You want the feet to be about hip width apart. Make sure the quads are engaged. There's a lifting of the knees happening, okay? And then reach down with the heels, but they don't have to touch the ground. And then just bend one knee, bend the other knee. Start to take your dog for a walk. And make sure you're breathing here as you're going. Push the weight away from your hands in towards your heels. You're just bending one knee, bending the other knee, okay? Just taking this dog for a walk. And then from here, guys, shift it forward into plank. And then come down into that squat. And push forward into plank. Lower through one solid straight line. And find your baby cobra. Send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then this time in downward facing dog, we're going to lift up the left leg. Nice and high. Lift through the inner leg line. And then open up your hip. Keep that balancing foot nice and grounded and keep pushing into your left hand so you don't lose the balance of your hands. And then go ahead and come forward into a nice strong crunch. Maybe your nose touches your knee. And then send it back up and open up your hip. And then come forward into that crunch. And send it back to open up your hip. And then come forward. This time, place your foot down on the outside of your left hand. Okay? Maybe walk it forward, adjust if you need to. Keep your hips nice and square. Lower the back knee down. Keep your back leg tucked if it's comfortable for you. You want to rise up into an Anjaneyasana with a wide leg. Bring your palms together when you get there. Take a deep breath right here. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe shift the weight forward a little bit. You're feeling this connection in your psoas, right? And then you can spread your fingertips wide, open up to the left side. And then come back to your center. Bring your palms to prayer, reach back. Keep that front knee over front ankle. And then open up the hands. Spread them wide. Come back to the center. And then come down to frame your front foot, lift up your back leg, and lift up the left hand to come into a simple twist. Lower it back down, send it back to plank. And then lower it through as one solid straight line. Lift up into baby cobra. Send it back, downward facing dog. We're going to try that again on the other side. So lift up the right leg. Open up the hip, ground through your left heel. Stack your knee over your hip. Come forward into a crunch. Send it back up towards the sky or the ceiling. I'm used to saying sky because of the beach. And come back forward into crunch. Send it back up. And then this time as you come forward, place your foot down on the outside of your right hand. Lower the back knee down, left knee comes down, rise on up. And then once again, you'll fan your fingers wide, turn towards the left, and open up back to the center, reach for the ceiling, bring your palms together, and then open up wide to the left. And come back to the center. Come on down, place your palms down next to each other, lift up into a simple twist. So the right hand is reaching up, that back left leg is very strong. And come on back down, send it into plank. Again, we'll lower through one solid straight line, or you could take a child's pose here. That's your other option. And then send it back to downward facing dog. Good, now we're gonna add on to this. So lift up the left leg and directly open up your hip right away. And place the left foot on the outside of your left hand. Lower the back leg down, rise up, bring your palms together. And then turn towards the right, expand through your fingers. And then this time we're gonna just tip it back. So keep your quads nice and strong, like you're coming into a peaceful warrior. And then go ahead and bring that right hand down to the ground, directly lift up into a simple twist. And then bring both hands down, shift it back to plank. Remember child's pose or lower through. Find your baby cobra. Take it back to downward facing dog. And then let's lift up on the opposite side. Open up your hip. Place your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Lower the back leg down, rise up. You already know this, right? We've already been here. And then expand open with your hands, turn to the left. And then tip it back. Like a peaceful warrior. And then take that left hand all the way down to the ground. Lift up to simple twist. Lower that right hand down, turn to plank. Lower through one solid straight line. Lift up baby cobra. Whew. No more already. Lower through downward facing dog. Then lift up the right leg, open up your hip. I mean the left leg. And then place the left foot down, outside of your left hand. Rise up. We've been building on this one more time. So turn to the left. Right? Tip it back to reverse. Move into simple twist. Bring your right hand down, reach up with the left. And then come down. This time, you're going to place both your hands down next to each other, and we're going to come up into a malasana. So you're going to take your back right foot, place it on the outside of your right hand. And then you're going to just lower your tailbone down towards the ground. Meet in a malasana. So take this sacred moment. I'm going to turn so you can see me. We're in this malasana. So your heels can be lifted in malasana, okay? So that's okay too. I just want to point that out wherever you are right now. And then go ahead and ground into your right hand and lift up at the left to come into a twist. And then switch it on over to the other side. Plant the hands onto the ground. Lift up to forward fold. Turn both your legs in so they're about hip width apart at this point. Relax your head and your neck. Bend your knees in your forward fold. And then place the hands onto the shins, lift up halfway. Whoa, my hair. And come on back down into a fold. Swoop your hands up and around, or the Hastasana, full body extension. Deep inhale here. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Maybe a slight back bend. And then as you exhale, come all the way back down into a forward fold. Okay? You're here in your malasana. In your forward fold. And then you're going to place your hands onto the ground. You're going to send your right foot back. And then you're going to send your left foot back. And then we're going to find chaturanga. So shift forward and then lower down halfway. You can move into an up dog. And then send it back. Downward facing dog. And we're going to take that on the other side. So lift up the right leg. Open up your hip. Place your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Lower the left knee down. Rise up. And turn towards the right. Tip it back to reverse. And then come into simple twist. Guide that left hand on the ground. Lift up the back leg. Reach up with your right. Place the hands down next to each other. Hop it forward to Malasana or Yogi Squat at the front of your mat. Again, I'll turn the body so I can face you. Hands are at the heart. And then ground into your left hand. Reach up with the right. And then switch over to the other side. Place the hands on the ground, lift up, forward fold. Heel toe the feet together so they're about hip width apart. Relax your head and your neck. And then move into that halfway lift. Place the hands onto your shins. Think cow pose with your spine. Lower back down. Fold. And then swoop your hands up and around. Full body extension, hands come to prayer. Add a little back bend. And then Tadasana. Place your hands at your heart and then down to your side. Again, close your eyes for a moment. Feel all four corners of your feet. Find that lifting of your quads here too. Feel your heart. Take 3 full deep breaths right here in your Tadasana. After your third exhale, reach your hands up high. Come all the way down into a fold. Plant your hands on the ground. Send your left foot back. And then right foot will meet your left. Shift forward to chaturanga. Or remember, you can always take a baby cobra. Let the heart shine forward. And then lift back up, downward facing dog. You'll find down dog, just your breath here. And then bend your knees slightly. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. So we're at the back of our mat now. When you get there, grab hold of opposite elbow and sway side to side. So notice how I'm swaying here from my hips, side to side, moving them left to right, as I really relax my neck. Good, and then I'm going to keep my feet about hip width apart, bring my hands out in front of me, and sit down into a chair pose. Okay? So I'm going to turn to my side again. If you would like to keep your feet together in chair, you could totally do that. We're at the back of our mats in chair pose. And then bring your hands to your heart space. We're just going to twist to the left. A very simple twist to the left right now. Come back to the center, twist over to the right. And back to the center, come back down into your fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands on the ground, walk the hands forward, all the way to plank. Lower yourself down, all the way, and slide it back to a child's pose. 2 more deep breaths here. Come into tabletop and send it back to downward facing dog. Then in downward facing dog, we're going to go ahead and lift up the left leg, open up the hip on this side. This time shift your weight forward and place your foot down in between your hands. Okay. Then we're going to rise up, guys, into a high crescent. So come up high on the ball of that back foot. Okay, make sure this front knee is over front ankle. Engage your core nice and tight. Before we rise up, just go ahead and reach forward with the right hand. And then reach forward with the left. Rise up nice and slowly into your high crescent. Keep that back knee bent if you need to. It'll help you with your balance. Okay. Good. And then go ahead and reach the hands back behind you and come back down into fold. And then rise on up to high crescent. And come back down into fold. Good. One more time just like that. Rise on up. And come back down into fold. Go ahead and place your right hand down onto the ground. Reach up with the left for a twist. Left hand comes back down to frame your front foot. Hop it forward to the front of your mat and fold. Lift up halfway. And come back down into your fold. Scoop your hands out in front of you. Sit down in your chair. Rise all the way up. Bring your palms together. Reach back slightly. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your Tadasana, mountain pose. And swoop your hands up high again. Come back down into forward fold. Now here you can hop it back or you can walk it back into your Chaturanga. So straight back. You can also take a child's pose here. Adho Mukha Sasana to Adho Mukha Sasana. Downward facing dog. Good. Let's take that to the other side. Lift up the right leg this time. Open up your hip. Swing that leg forward. Place it down in between your hands. Bend that back knee. Rise up to your crescent. Come up high on the ball of your back toes. And fold it forward. Relax your heart. Keep it really strong in your front leg. Rise on up. Keep it fluid as you fold. One more time like that. And come back forward to fold. Place that left hand down on the ground. Reach up with the right. Move into a twist. Come on down to frame that front foot. Hop, skip forward to the front of your mat and fold. Lift up halfway. Down into fold. Into your chair pose. Take 3 full deep breaths here. Palms come together. Reach up above your head. Take a slight back bend. And find your mountain pose. Bring your palms to your heart space. And down to your side. Reach your hands up high above your head. And come all the way back down into your fold. Again, you can hop or we'll send it back to Chaturanga. Or I'll show you just to opt to take a child's pose. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog. Hope everyone's doing well over there. Let's keep going. Lift up the left leg, open up your hip. Place your foot down in between your hands. Rise up to your crescent. Good. Just one fold down over here. And rise on back up. We've already been here. Move into that simple twist. Just bring your left hand down, reach up with the right. And then go ahead and lower that back leg down. Cactus your left arm. Open up your hip. Swoop it back forward, reach up. Come forward to frame your front foot. Hop it forward into forward fold. Reach up halfway. And come back down to fold. Swoop your hands into your chair. Rise up all the way. Slight back bend. Move into your mountain pose. And then back, hands up above your head. Come down into forward fold. Hop presented back to chaturanga. To downward facing dog. Immediately lift up the left leg and open up your hip. Place the foot down in between your hands. Rise up to high crescent. And come down into fold. Rise up one more time. And move into that twist. Reaching up with your right hand. And then lower the back leg down. Cactus your right arm. Reach up. Bring your right hand to frame that front foot. Hop it forward into forward fold. Move into halfway lift. Back down to fold over yourself. Up to chair pose. Rise up all the way, palms come together. Moving into Tadasana, mountain pose. And then here in your mountain pose, take a breath. And then begin to just shift your weight over to the left leg and start to peel your right foot off the ground. I'm going to switch sides. There you go. And then bring that right knee in towards your chest. Open up your right hip and maybe reach up with your left hand. Bring your right knee back in towards your chest. Bring your hands to your heart space. Lower through Tadasana. And then spread your legs wide. Again, you're at the front of your mat here. Hands come to your heart. All the way down to Malasana. We're already there. And then plant down to your left hand. Reach up with the right. Maybe you're ready to take a bind here. Place your right hand, grab hold of that left thigh. And then switch it on over. Ground into your left hand. Open up with the left hand. Ground into your right, open up with the left. Here you can take that bind. Make sure you're breathing. Come on back down forward. Lift up into a halfway lift. Parallel your feet. And come back down into fold. Rise up all the way. Tadasana. And then we're going to shift our weight over towards the right leg this time, as you peel your left foot off the ground. And then bring that left knee into your chest. Lift up out of your hip cage and hug this balancing hip in. And then you're going to just take that left knee out to the side and reach up with the right hand. Find your point of focus, your drishti. Come back to the center. Hands come to your heart. Tadasana. And then spread the legs wide. Come into your Malasana, your yogi squat. Last and last in our year today. So ground into the right hand. Reach open with the left. Use what you did last time if you took the bind, or maybe you want to try it this time. Just placing a hand behind you is suffice. Switch over to the other side. So good. Then place the hands down in front of you and then just slowly lower your butt down. So you're going to be like this here. Okay? Into Navasana, or boat pose. You could try it with our knees bent. Okay? Keep your heart shining forward, shining through. And then lower through halfway. Don't let your feet touch the ground. Don't let the shoulders touch the ground. And come on back up. And one more time like that. And rise on back up. We'll do 5, okay? Two more. Maybe one more. And we can just hold this together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, lower yourself down onto your mat. Bend your knees when you get there and just rock your knees a little side to side. Then keep your right foot or your left foot nice and grounded and bring your right foot to your left knee, okay? So you're making like a figure 4 here. Then we're going to thread the needle, grab hold of your shin or your thigh, okay? Whatever's comfortable for you. If your shoulders are coming up or you're like this, then just let go and just hang out here, okay? The point is not to have strain. If you're feeling a little bit more loose, you can grab hold of the knee and just guide that hip in towards you. Oof, it feels so good. Okay, now we're going to keep this connection. Okay, with this ankle to this knee, I want you to keep this connection as you guide this right foot down to the ground. So this whole thing is going to move together. You guide it down to the ground. There it is. And then you can take your left hand, give that right hip a little nudge. Okay, and then you can just look over towards your right side. And then go ahead and come back to the center again, keeping that connection. And then grab hold of the left ankle, grab hold of the right ankle, and cross your knees here. Ooh, it feels really good, guys. Gomukhasa on the back. And just rock a little side to side. Good. Then bring that right knee in towards your chest. Elongate out through the left leg. And just place it down on the ground. Now we're going to take a happy baby with just your right foot. So take your right hand, grab hold of the inside arch of your right foot, and then lift up the leg. Think about bringing that right armpit in towards your right knee in towards your armpit. Okay? You can even take your left hand, place it on your left hip, for just a little bit of more added support. And then just take that leg all the way over your body, cross it on to a simple twist. Come back to your center. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Bring your chin up to meet your knees. And then switch. So place the right foot on the ground. Thread the needle pose on this side, okay? So left foot goes to your right knee. You can stay like this if you feel your shoulders are lifting up. Remember, no one's watching you. So do what feels good in your body. And then if you can grab hold of the shin, maybe you grab hold of the thigh. Okay? I'm actually putting my left elbow near my left knee so I can push it out a little bit more to give myself a better stretch. And then keeping that connection, I'm going to guide this left foot down onto the ground. I'm going to move over a little bit. Yes. And then use your right hand to assist that stretch as you just turn your head towards the left. And then come back to the center, cross your knees, grab your ankles, rock side to side, get into that piriformis, and a little more of that hamstring. I feel it right here. Keep your tailbone rooted. And then bring your left knee in, elongate the right leg, find your happy baby on this side. So left knee comes towards my left armpit. Place my right hand on my right hip to keep that side grounded. And then take it over your body and cross it on over for a simple twist. And keep that leg straight. I'm just a little cramped here. Good. Come back to the center space. Rock it forward. And just come into a forward fold, okay? So place the feet long. Grab hold of your ankles, your shins. Reach forward with the heart. And relax the head down. Again, a little micro bend in the knee doesn't hurt here. Great job, guys. And then for the last thing, I want to do legs up the wall. So if you have a wall near you, I did mention that in my newsletter to set up there. If you didn't set up near a wall, you could just take your shavasana on your back. Okay, but if you have a wall handy, this will feel really, really yummy sometimes. So, actually all the time, I love it. So, you can come as close as you can towards the wall and just place your feet up here, okay? Scooch that butt as close to the wall as you can. If you need to move away for a few minutes to go do this, go ahead and do that. I'll be right here. Okay? And then if it's better for you to keep the knees bent, you can totally just do this. If it's accessible and comfortable for you to just place your feet up the wall, go ahead and do that. And then, remember we were cactusing the arms before, so just place the arms in the cactus position over to your side. This is a nice form of an inversion where the blood is rushing in the opposite direction. It also allows our legs to relax. It improves your mood, your circulation. So let's just take a minute, hang out here with our legs up the wall. I want you to maybe close your eyes and just feel the effects of the practice. We did a lot of hip opening. We did some breathing work. We tended to our physical body, to the mental body, and to the spirit and the soul. And at a time like this, when we are being asked to confine ourselves to some of us are alone in isolation, some of us are at home with our families, taking a few minutes to just do this can be so beneficial for you. So take 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly your chest if you're against the wall here. And then just turn to your right side. Even if you're on your back in Shavasana, just turn to your right side. Take a few more deep breaths there. And then slowly start to make your way up to a comfortable seat at the front of your mat or your towel. And when you arrive there, close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart space. Stack your shoulders over the hips. Stack your head over your shoulders. As you let the fruits of your practice settle, I'm going to leave you with this poem by Rumi. Are you searching for your soul? Then come out of your prison. Leave the stream and join the river that flows into the ocean. Absorbed in this world, you've made it your burden. Rise above this world. There is another vision. We're going to end today's practice with the sound of 3 ohms. First, just take a deep breath. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Feel free to join me. Bring your fingers to your third eye, acknowledging the wisdom that lies within you. Bring your palms to your heart space, thanking yourself for coming out here and practicing with me today. The hardest part is just getting on your mat. Thank you so much. If you have a few extra minutes, I can just share my little gratitude prompts with you. And I think it just helps start off your day and end your day on a good note. So ask yourself in the morning, what is your focus today? Find an affirmation for today. Mine was be present. Write down a few things that you're grateful for. Ask yourself what you're excited about today, especially when we have to be home like this. And the last thing is how you'll make space for gratitude today. Do those in the morning when you wake up. In the evening before you go to bed, ask yourself what good things happened today. Things that you did to make a positive difference. How did you feel? Just write down the slew of emotions. There's probably a lot. And then a positive thought to carry you to sleep. These moments of gratitude and acknowledging the things that we do have rather than looking at the ways that we're limited can help us get through this very challenging time. So I encourage you to spend some time journaling. Stay at home, please. Let's get this over with. The more we stay home, the faster it's going to end, and we'll be together and be able to practice on the beach. Again, I'll be streaming classes here live on Saturdays and Sundays at 10:30, and on Wednesday at 8 a.m. I'll be sending things out in my newsletter to give you tips and stuff to prepare for class. So if you want to subscribe to our newsletter, just go to beachyogasocal.com, enter in your email, and you'll be on there. Anything else? Yes. Once my classes this class will now be put on YouTube. So if you didn't get to flow with me at this time, you want to share it later, or you want to show it to your friends, tomorrow it'll be up on YouTube, and again, I'll send it out and I'll put it on my social media so that you have it to practice later if you want. And donations have been so greatly appreciated. Again, you can Venmo us at Beach Yoga SoCal or at Beach Yoga SoCal for Venmo. If you want to use Cash App, it's $Beach Yoga SoCal. PayPal is info@beachyogasocal.com. And just DM me if you would like any more of this information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was great to see so many of you tune in today, so I appreciate it. I'll be back again on Wednesday. Stay through this quarantine. We're all in it together. Namaste. Let me know if you want to see anything specific. These videos are for you. Okay, I'm done now. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you. Bye.